So this is the Nanlite Forza 60 Mark II and the Bicolor Mark II, which is back there used as the backlight currently. These were just released from Nanlite, and I can tell you that the difference between the daylight and the bicolor is just that. Pretty much everything is the same, but we're going to cover all the details here in this video. So a quick disclaimer before we jump into everything. Nanlite did send me these for review. This is a sponsored review. However, I'm not paid to say anything. Nanlite will not be seeing this video until it has been published, so they're seeing it when you're seeing it, and everything that I share here is my own opinion. It's based on my own experience. With that being said, let's jump into what you get when you purchase both of these lights. For both these lights, you'll get the light, a power brick and cables, a Bowens mount adapter, handheld battery bracket, a proprietary reflector, and a carrying case for everything to go inside. Now for the fun part, let's talk about the features that these lights come with. The first one is a small form factor. It's about the same size as my phone, and this is a large model. Both lights have USB ports for firmware updates. Both lights are controllable via Bluetooth and DMX, and of course from the back of the light. For the color temperature range, on the daylight it's 5600 Kelvin only, but on the bicolor you'll get 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. Both lights have about a dozen special effects baked into them, which you can control from the back of the light with the new mode button or from the app as well. When it comes to the handheld battery bracket, there's three interesting things going on here. One is a battery light indicator, so you can see how full or low your batteries are. Number two is some feet that you can extend on the bottom of this bracket so that you can place it down on a flat surface. And number three is the ability to mount the bracket onto a light stand so that you can still run it off of batteries. When it comes to fans, you can actually turn them on and off. However, if you turn them off, you will limit it to 30% output as your maximum, and you can actually control them from within the app, turning the fans on and off. Both lights allow you to change the dimming curve for the light if that's something that you're into. And lastly, there are two output modes on this light. There is constant output and maximum output, where you'll get a small boost of power basically, and the light will be a little brighter for it. If you're curious about the quality of light and the output, how strong it is, I did some readings with my spectrometer. I'm going to share those with you. Just so you know, all the readings were done with the little proprietary reflector that both lights come with. Now that we've done the nerdy and the neat stuff, let's talk about some issues I've encountered and also some things that I don't really care for with these lights. The biggest issue and complaint that I have is with the Bowens mount adapter. I have 4 issues with it. The first one, it's made really cheaply, very cheap plastic. Number 2 is that the handle for the yoke, tightening it down, making sure, you know, the tilt is locked in place, is really hard to get to. It gets right in the way. You have to constantly unlock it, relock it so that you can just loosen or tighten the yoke. The third thing is the umbrella knob is right in the way of the yoke handle. And the fourth and last thing is that I just really don't trust heavy modifiers on this. While I did put a 90 centimeter softbox on it and it did do okay with that, you had to really over tighten it, and then it made it really hard to untighten it. Basically, it's just really aggravating to deal with the adapter. You're constantly having to fiddle with it and make sure it's actually secure. My second complaint about these lights is a little more nitpicky, but it has to do with the power cables. They're not quite as long as I prefer. I have lights similar to these. They're much longer. These ones are about 3 to 5 feet shorter than I like. Now for things that I do like and some ways that I've used these lights, let's get into that. The first thing I really like is that there's an app, and it actually works well, the app, but I also really love that you can turn the fans on and off from the app. Even though the adapter's not great, I'm still glad at least it comes with the light. And I also really like about this battery grip is that you have those battery indicators. This is just really helpful to figure out if the batteries need to be charged, taken off, switched out, whatever. I would also like to mention that this can be mounted onto a light stand, which I love because I've had some battery grip handles that can't do that. As far as ways I've been using it, I've been using the bicolor one as my backlight, like I said, with the little reflecting dish, which I've actually really enjoyed. It's so small, compact, and no hot spots, as well as a nice soft roll off on the edges. And for this daylight only Forza 60, I've been using it a bit as like a key light, and it's been great. You can use it with obviously a bunch of different modifiers, and so here's some examples of some as a key light. So I'm going to link both of these lights down in the description. If you make a purchase using those links, it does support the channel. Thank you for doing that. In the end, I would say that I've really enjoyed both these lights. I think they're great. I would definitely recommend them. If you have the older Forza 60s, the only reason to upgrade, I would say then, is if you need to control these via Bluetooth, DMX, or you care about the little mode button in the back, and of course this little reflecting dish. Now you can use these lights in any situation you can imagine that you would use a normal 60-watt light. If you don't know what those situations would be, I have a video right here that you should check out. 7 setups with one 60-watt light. Super helpful. Check it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.